Yo guys, today I grew a massive bone blossom. This thing took me like 4 hours to get. Enough yapping, let's get into the video. I used the Triceratops method, plus the mooncats to get bigger fruits. I'll quickly explain how this works. So the mooncats go to sleep every 70 seconds and make plants in a 20 stud radius 1.5 times bigger. Now, the Triceratops will smack his head against random plants every 3 minutes and 33 seconds, and it advances your plants by 33 minutes. Now, if we can time the cats and Triceratops, it can actually grow some pretty big plants. You can time it by placing the mooncats, or even tabby cats if you don't have mooncats, down when the Triceratops has 1 minute and 25 seconds or 15 seconds left. But we are not done yet. The bone blossom on its own has a 2.5% chance to be huge, so it will be a massive plant on its own if it hits that chance. If you can stack these bonuses, you can grow some abominations of nature, but we can also use sprinklers to get even bigger plants. So with the method that I'll be using out of the way, let's get into the video. Alright guys, let's get to growing. I'm gonna place down my Triceratops and I'll see you guys when it's time to place down the mooncats. Alright, so now it's time to place down the mooncats. Something I did forget to say in the intro is that we're gonna be using a trowel to move the tree into the mooncat. As you can see, they're about to go to sleep. So what you wanna do now is you wanna harvest all the fruits on your tree. So I'm gonna harvest all my bone blossoms and get ready to place the tree inside of the mooncat's area. So the cats are sleeping now. Now what you wanna look for is like two cats that are overlapping each other. As you can see, there are two overlapping each other right here. So you wanna place a tree in the middle of those areas so they both affect the tree. And then you want to wait for the Triceratops to of course bonk his head against the tree. So it grew some decent sized ones, but I'm not quite happy with this one. So I'm gonna run a time lapse with some Subway servers to the right, and I'll see you guys when I actually grow something useful. So I started to use sprinklers because I just wasn't getting anything big until this happened. But I want an even bigger one, so I'm gonna run another time lapse and try and get like an even bigger one than this. Eventually, after selling my soul to the devil, I finally grew a decent sized one. After favoriting it and inspecting it with a magnifying glass, I found out that it weighs 67.5 kilogram. After growing this one, I started to use all my sprinklers to try and get an even bigger one than we already have. But unfortunately, I ran out of master sprinklers. So let's not worry too much about that, and let's just try and get rainbow on the big one that we got. So to start off, I'm gonna use the pterodactyl to try and get windstruck and twisted on the big blossom. Then of course use the butterfly to convert it into a rainbow plant. And well, I tried to use some sprays, but I'm broke, so I didn't have any. Oh, look at that, two sprinklers spawned right next to my tree. So after those sprinklers magically spawned in my garden, I placed down a sea turtle to get the wet mutation and a bee to get pollinated mutation. Also, a bit later I placed down a tarantula hawk to also get pollinated and help with the cooldown. Now all we need to do is wait on mutations and wait until the butterfly turns it into a rainbow mutation. Alright, so now we have 5 mutations, so we need to wait until the butterfly does its thing. So the butterfly just turned our plant rainbow, and I was gonna get some mutations on it, but I've been recording for so long that I'm just gonna do it in a different video sometime this week. If you don't want to miss the video where I do the mutations, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next one.